We can use the Ukrainians for that purpose. We can use the Ukrainians to bleed the Russians white. The
Yeah.
Russians are now Russia is now a great power. This is a problem for us in their mind, and we have to weaken Russia. And Ukraine is the perfect opportunity to do that.
My last question for you, sir, concerns grand strategy. I've been inspired by your work, intellectually and more. I cannot, in this moment, I'm just shocked at, especially with a lot of the people in the Trump administration. I know them personally. I know you do as well. And we heard for years about the folly of being obsessed with the Middle East, of American security doctrine, just having this religious devotion, to NATO, to Europe, to the Middle East. And as I watch, the consumption of U.S. weaponry, of U.S. attention and diplomacy on Israel, an obsession really with Israel, and then also similar obsession here with Ukraine, and then even determining our relationship with India and with China on the basis of Ukraine, it just seems so counter to any grand strategic interests of the United States and of our Asia, which will compromise some 50% GDP, in the next couple of years. So just at a very, 50,000 foot level, does this just confirm really that not only will we have the 2020s be a Chinese decade, but of one where, the U.S. really is just choosing the last bastions of this Cold War and 1990s, mentality. And when we had the opportunity, which it seems to be right now, we just decided not to take it.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate description of what's happened here. I mean, the Trump administration and the Biden administration both argued that the principal contingency the United States should concern itself with is a war against China in East Asia, and that our principal goal should be to contain China in East Asia. That was the consensus opinion inside both administrations. But what's happened is that we can't get out of Ukraine. We're pinned down in Ukraine. And the situation in the Middle East is even worse. If you look at what happened in the war that we picked with the Houthis, remember Trump said we're going to go out and beat the Houthis. And after about a month, Trump said, we're quitting this war. Those Houthis are mighty formidable. But of course, the real reason that we quit the war was that we were running through our inventories of weapons at record pace.
Right.
And our inventories are not very deep. And then we get in the wars that Israel